prairie light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the hope of the brave?
Thank you very much. If you'll remain standing and remove cover in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
Video. Oh, videos. I think so. That's a video. No, we have to do the videos on the down because we had to close it. Right. You should be good. Are you gonna be? You're gonna be on that side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be. You might see like we're on this side. Like the live stream, you mean? Yeah, we're on this side. This is the first one you have to go around. Well, there we go. That's awesome. Cool. Alright, this is ready to go. We were connected to okay, awesome. Thanks. Thank you. At first, I thought I wish I brought my it would have been like no practice for me. It's just like your own personal kind of like I just never know. Like some shows I'm like, what do I find out? Doesn't like take a picture all of it. Well, in some shows, especially ones that like open on, the lighting is so good, it's so hard to maintain. I ended up videoing Brandon and not taking any pictures, and then I figured I should get back. Yeah, it was so curious. Yeah, and like screenshot or like take some from there.
All right, ready to get rolling here. This first class of crosses, cross gilts will weigh between 90 and 140 pounds.
when he gets mad, you can tell that he's like biting his
You want me to get a running start?
Sure like to welcome everyone back this morning to the Crossbred portion of your Breeding Guild show. With the numbers in some of these classes today, we're going to place 10, and then I'll just make a couple comments out here about the hogs that remain in the ring. These little bitty crosses, I didn't know that we would start this young and lightweight in terms of divisions, and so what we've got out here, some really nice built green ones like the young lady here in the red sweater has. Don't know if there's enough substance and feature today, or we've got the gilts like the blue out here, got the substance and the feature, just a little quicker in their extensions. Like yesterday in the cures, you know, hind leg sort in these crosses, is just a viable factor as it is in the cures. And so you watch their hind leg go away today, and there might be some deviation there. I sure think these are good prospects that need to continue to be on feed. Maybe not as show ready today as some that we've got in the pens. Let's put our hands together and thank the efforts of the exhibitors very early this morning, and we'll restart our top end here. just about started our class, talking and discussing our Class 1 Crossbred Gilts, and I forgot we probably should do an occasional way back. So we're going to modify our schedule just a little bit to try to save as much time as we can. Great way to start, in my opinion. There's 3 good gilts out here, and when you're talking about pigs of this size, age, and maturity, it's not only do they look good today, but what do they need to do to continue to stay competitive as they reach heavier weights and more mature? The gilt out here that I have to say to myself the least, if she does this, she can be competitive. If she does that, she can be competitive, is the young lady's black gilt. I think this gilt starts this class. She's the best blend of a uniquely stout feature, big-footed, good build, flexible skeleton, all of that fits very well. I think her body shape is better to me at this stage in her development than the gilt that's going to be second. She's sounder behind than the gilt in third. As a result, she's your class winner. The gilt that's going to be second is one of those contagious crossbred gilts the young lady in the red shirt has. She's got the look, she's got the jazz. This gilt has a big ring presence about her that is always going to be very, very competitive. At home, what are we trying to do with our crossbreds? We're trying to keep a look like that, but we're trying to roll more body shape. We're trying to open up their blade just a shade. We can do that with feed supplements. What I'd love to do is build crossbreds that don't need that and actually have just a little more to them. She is a good-looking devil out here. Just got to open her body up just a shade. The changer, in my opinion, is the gilt in third. Dense featured, front 2/3 of this gilt I absolutely love. I love her skull, I love her form, I love her body shape. What does she have to do to stay competitive long term? The hind legs got to make sure and just drop a little more comfortable. I don't think she's outside herself, but with feed and time on feed and maturity, that hock's got to stay in her just a shade better. The gilt that I might like as well as any long term might be the gilt that comes out at 4. This gilt's impeccably good build. Love the look, love the greenness and the immaturity. This gilt doesn't look like she's been fed on quite as hard. She's got some battle scars on her. That's going to be a big, stout, hind-legged belted gilt with a great look. Today, she's just a little dry down her top. Got to freshen her up. The gilt that comes next, you study the maturity through her head. Relative to her foot and bone, she reads a little mature for me at this stage in her development. Love her body shape, love her muscularity. I think she's pretty good in terms of her hind leg structure, but I want to make sure that her mature head matches her size just a little better. But a good build, flat back, flexible gilt, I like a good deal. Big body, thick-ended, powerful gilt for really a show-ready, lightweight crossbred gilt. For this stage in her maturity, I read her a little coarse and crusty at the top of her neck. Want to freshen her up there a little bit so she can be a big gilt that still looks attractive. Front 2/3 of this gilt are really cool. She is really skinny out here and got a good look about her. Just got to have a little more doability to her, give her a little more time on feed, and I think if her hind leg stays with her, she'll be very competitive. The black gilt, really sleek looking, a little closed up underneath, a little wide walking behind. I want to make this gilt come at me and go away a little more consistent in her views, but love the look and pattern. Got a blue gilt here that's thick, big back, big rib. Comes at you just a little flat in her form, a little refined. Want to stout her skeleton up. The gilt at 10, big body, thick muscle. You read that gilt's coarseness and maturity to her head, crest to her neck, softness to her pastern. I want to make that a little more juvenile up front. From her blade back, I sure like her width and stoutness and power. Good class. My compliments to the crossbred exhibitors. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Sage.
Main Facebook page, the Arizona National Livestock. Okay. If you scroll down, it should be like a line of different live streams. It'll say,
The results out of Class 1 Crossbred Gilts: in 10th, Grace Curry from California. In 9th, Shelby Nixon from Arizona. In 8th, Hunter Stevens from Arizona. In 7th place, Grace Parkrader from California. In 6th place, Josephine Booth from Idaho. In 5th place, Kyle Odell from California. In 4th place, Braden Borden from California. In 3rd place, Ethan McCabe from California. 2nd place, Madison Woolery from Texas. And your winner of Class 1 Crossbred Gilts, Kendra Bliss from California. Now in the arena is Class 2 Crossbred Gilts. These gilts weight range from 145 pounds to 160 pounds. I'd like to introduce our judge this morning, Dr. Mark Hogue. Dr. Hogue is originally from Cambridge, Illinois, where he grew up on a diversified farm with cattle, hogs, and sheep. Dr. Hogue went on to judge at Black Hawk East Community College, got his undergrad at the University of Illinois, a Master's of Science in Animal Breeding from Iowa State University, and on to get his PhD in animal breeding from Michigan State. Dr. Hogue is currently Associate Professor of Agriculture and a livestock judging coach at Western Illinois University. Dr. Hogue is married to his wife, Katie. They have 3 kids, Carter, Nolan, and Nora Grace. Let's give Dr. Hogue a warm round of applause this morning.
Another good class out here, maybe a little more variation as we go throughout. Study the pigs that remain in the ring. You know, we talk about freshness and body shape. Gilt here's got some bone and feature, just a little dry and stale for a young juvenile gilt. Got a black gilt out here I thought was pretty nice, just a little vertical on both ends of her skeleton. Got a couple real hard muscle hogs out here, just not enough body shape, not enough comfort in terms of their skeletal design. Gilt down here I thought was good, but was not showing very good for the boy down there. Not stout enough in terms of her skeleton, but I like a lot of things about that gilt. Let's put our hands together as they clear the ring. We'll resort this top end.
you all know, this show wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. So throughout the day, I'd like to recognize those that have provided us this opportunity this morning. Glitter Dust, WW Paul Scales. And Bo Sanders is here with Paul Scales, and all the scales you see around the barn are for sale. He has a booth out by the steering. All Flex, Western Ag Life Magazine, Sullivan Supply, and Show Bloom. And one special note on Show Bloom, as you heard yesterday, all photos taken today, both backdrop and action shots, are free to you thanks to the sponsorship from Show Bloom. You can go to WeKnowLivestock.com, download those photos. If you do want a backdrop picture at any point, Katina and her team are set up on the south side of the show arena. Feel free to go over there, have that picture taken. Again, all those pictures are free to you from a sponsorship from Show Bloom. Titan Sticks. Titan Sticks donated sticks to all top 10 of each of our 3 divisions yesterday in showmanship. We really appreciate that. Weaver Livestock, Spence Auctioneer, YGB Livestock Camps, Sanderson Ford, Bell's Hay,
another good class across Gilts out here in the second class. Like I said, when I excused the lower end down there, there's some variation out here within this population, but I think as we talk about weight and what hog fits their weight, their body shape, and their agility the most effectively, young lady in the blue sweater is going to start this class. I like this Gilt blade shape. I like her back shape. I think she's the most correct in how her rear foot hits the surface. She's the most correct in the shape to her hop. Now, with that stated, she's a little pug-headed. I'm a little concerned she's built a little moderate in terms of her extensions long-term, but I think she fits well enough today. Got a great look, a great presence. The Gilded second, young man's got here. I really like the look of this Gilt up front. Very attractive, got a sleek look about her, good shape. You know, she reads a little dry in terms of her body design. Doesn't really hit me like one of those Gilts that just want to, to be a great performer. She's always going to be a great design, heavy skeleton, dense Gilt. Want to just open her body shape up a shade if we could. The Gilt that comes in third, I think, is really show ready. I like her body, I like her blade. I think really a fresh mate Gilt out here. Study maturity in her crest to her neck, the shape to her head relative to her bone and foot size reads a little mature to me at this stage. Then I'd like to stout her feature up to match all that mass just a little better. The Gilt that comes in four, this is an interesting breeding Gilt in my opinion. Heavy build, jet level, big legs, powerful. She has a head and ear set that I think only her mother would love. Outside of that, that is a good sow long term. Little puggy up front, but man, that thing's built good, flat back. Could be a good sow someday. Just a little general about her head. Got a red Gilt with a pedigree that would be good in class yesterday. She hits the crosses, and this Gilt still has value in terms of her design, her structure. Reads a little cheeky to me, reads a little shorter faced up front, but man, that thing's good built. Really a nice one. This Gilt at 6, just like the Gilt at 4, this ear set, to be honest with you, young man, is not really attractive at all. Okay? Now, last time I checked, there's a lot of value from their back in terms of this Gilt's length of body, her stoutness of feature, and I think really for as bold as she is, handles herself very well out here. That whole crest, ear, head relationship will be her greatest undoing in the show ring, but I doubt it will hinder her in production in terms of a sow. Gilt that comes next. This one had a good look to me, but just doesn't want to handle herself good enough out here in terms of either end structurally, but I think that the body shape and the design down their top line is good. Just got to make her sounder. The Gilts that come next, we can let 8, 9, and 10 roll a little quicker. Black Gilt needs more bone and substance, but kind of a good look. Calico just didn't want to drive very good out here. She's along the fence line. Reads a little short in her extensions, very similar to the Gilded 10. A little bit of a lowrider out here. Love the width and bone and stoutness. They just read a little compact in their extensions. Great class, my compliments.
Results from Class 2 Crossbred Gilts. In 10th, Haven Steele from Arizona. In 9th place, Kaylee Erdman from North Dakota. In 8th, John Turnwall from California. In 7th, Karis Datson from California. In 6th place, Britton Red from Utah. 5th place, Hunter Stevens from Arizona. In 4th place, Braden Marchant from California. In 3rd, Madeline Lindley from California. 2nd place, Jake Lewis from California. And your winner of Class 2, Kelsey Brooks from Arizona. Now in the ring is Class 3 Crossbred Gilts. These gilts weigh between 162 and 185.
Right.
Hello?
I would not be this one.
More of our sponsors this morning: Bell's Hay, Lender Showpigs, Small Town Genetics, the NJSA, NSR, and CPS crew, No Limit Genetics, Mace Hauling and Sales, RV Rental Outlet, Byers Farm, and Bring in the Heat Livestock.
a very deep class. I think a close call right here is the young lady in the red sweater. I love the bone and the feature. Didn't make the trip to Phoenix as well in terms of physical fill and depth of body, and a little straight behind, but I think a pretty good kind of gilt. Then we got a couple out here that are big and long and lean, just a little dry through the middle part of their body. Got a well-presented gilt here that's just a little out in terms of her hawk design. Wanted to stabilize that. Got a gilt down in the corner that's got the rib and width a little refined and just a little plainer featured up front. Let's please congratulate the young ladies out here for a job well done on driving, and we'll clear the ring.
Would you like to go, Patty?
I think really an interesting top three to put together here, because you got there's not that maybe unicorn status gilt in here that just has to win. I think there's three options that all present quality, and you got to decide what you want to accept on the downside to get what you want. I think the longer I watch them drive, the gilt that I'm most comfortable with in terms of pasture quality, design, and balance and look, with enough skeletal density, is the young lady's blue belted gilt. She's going to start this class. Really just exemplifies proportionality, exemplifies balance. Now in a crossbred gilt population, do I want to push her out there farther in terms of skeletal density and set her back on her heel behind just a little differently? Yes, I do, but I think relative to her counterparts out here, I think she presents the most quality in a class-winning fashion. I think 2 and 3 are close, in my opinion. I like the unique breeding value of the young man's gilt down here to be second. Love the boldness, the stoutness. Front 2/3 of this gilt are really, really good. You got to get in behind her and say, okay, where's the hind leg set? Is it acceptable? Is it right there? She's a little round in her rump. She's a little unorthodox in her hind leg going away for me personally. As a result, I settled her in second. The gilt in third initially has the wow factor of a sharp, long head, got a big ditch down her back, and got a level tail set. The longer I study this gilt, her blade sets a little farther forward on her rib than ideal. Her pasterns on all four are just a little soft at this stage, and I just want to make sure her foot quality stays with her long term. I think her neck and shoulder design is all just a little awkward for me personally. As a result, she settles in third. The gilt, if I didn't have to watch this gilt right here come directly out of the pen first, I love everything else about this gilt in fourth. Got a neat look, got a proportional build, got a beautiful top line set in her. Challenge with this calico gilt is she needs to be more opened up when she drives right at me. The gilt that comes next is not wanting to be a show pig today. I think this gilt's got some interesting pieces. Huge legs, strong feet, and strong pasterns. I like that about her. Out here today, she's a low-headed gilt that's a little dry in her body, a little up in her back, and we want to change that relationship, but that is a big, stout hind leg that works very well. The gilt at 6 is a little rigid in her spine, big muscle, really wide. If you study the depth to her neck and the size of her head relative to her body, she's a little mature to her front end for me at this stage. Like to freshen the gilt up that comes at 7, heavy bone, pretty interesting build down her top line. Out here she looks a little mature headed, looks a little dry to me, want to freshen her up. If we do, there's some really skeletal design and quality aspects in her. The gilt that comes next, a little softer footed, extra wide, extra stout, just a little compact. Want to strengthen her pasterns up just a shade. 9 and 10, we could let them come out. Got a gilt at 9 that's good body, good shape, just a little stilty behind. This gilt at 10 is pretty interesting. I love her top line, love her length of rump, and handles her hind leg pretty good. She too is a little flat in terms of her body shape, a little soft in her front feet, a little long in her toes up front. Want to change that about her. Good class here in the Crossbred division.
Results from Class 3, Chloe Mucci from Colorado in 10th. In 9th, Ileana Salcido from California. In 8th place, Marlena Long from Missouri. In 7th, Mackenzie Adams from Idaho. 6th place, Cami Goodman from Oregon. 5th place, Eleanor Borba from California. In 4th place, Parker Cherry from California. In 3rd, Cooper Doherty from California. In 2nd place, Jack Owen from Arizona. And your winner of Class 3 Cross Gilts, Kendall McMillan from Idaho. We're now judging Class 4 Crossbred Gilts. These gilts weigh between 187 pounds and 205 pounds. Backman, James Backman, if you'll come to the announcer stand, please.
Once again, there's a lot of depth of quality in here. The blueback gilt, a little rigid in terms of her ankle and how she sets her hind leg down. A little steep in terms of her form, but I love her shape. Good headed gilt, got some turn down her top line. Got a couple of gilts out here, just a little hollow middle. Need more physical fill and body. Got a gilt here that's jet level, a little compact, a little pinch down in her loin. Then got a wide body down there that's a little quick in her extensions, a little mature for me. Doing a great job of driving these gilts out here. The young people are. Let's show them a nice round of applause for their efforts, if you would.
Whatever you think.
I think a great class and a fun class to come to the microphone and discuss with you because a lot of these hogs have some really, really good things about them, and it's just a matter of if they do the right things from here till their ideal endpoint show day, be interesting to watch. The gilt that I have to make the fewest excuses for is the white velvet gilt. It's going to start over here. I think this gilt is the epitome of balance and proportionality. She's athletic. She's right in her build. I love her hip. Love how it ties into her loin, and I think this gilt is consistent in her views coming at you, going away. She's not one of those EST, burly out there kind of unique ones. She's just so really well balanced and so fresh. Natural, I think her vulva, her underlying quality, she looks like a good show gilt that might actually lay down, have a litter, and be productive, and I think that is an ideal situation. Got a power sow here in second from a profile. We need to replicate, in my opinion, large quantities of pigs that have that balance and feature from a profile this young man's got. Comes at me pretty good when this gilt goes right away. She's a little weaker in terms of her hip and her pin set. Want to make sure there's just enough strength and drive going away in terms of volume and width of skeleton, but a really, really good gilt in the second on the side. The interesting tricked out one of the group in the initial three is the one that lands in third. Extra wide bladed, extra groovy down her top. They got a big fat pin set, got a big hind leg. I like all that. The problem is she prances out here. She's a little quick in her step. She's a little rigid in terms of both ends of her skeleton. A unique club pig, just got to loosen her up in terms of the ability to get out and go. Maybe roll her body shape just a little differently. The gilt that comes at me, if I didn't have to study this view right here, and I could just study this gilt in the profile in 4, this one is really, really good and has some extra good pieces about her. Challenge is her blade and rib all set too flat into her body. Need to roll her cage differently. The widest part of that gilt is going away as in her top. Want to change that width relationship when she drives right away. A basic gilt comes in 5, good body, good design. When you study her individually, I like a lot of things about this gilt. Out in the big ring setting, she's a little quick in the hawk action behind for me. Then she's a little compact. When she goes away, she'll get to swiveling, getting her rear feet outside of her skeleton. Great gilt coming in 5 and 6 in terms of balance and look and extension. I didn't see enough density in this gilt. She's a little dry, presented dry today. I'd shine her black up a little bit because out here she looks a little forgettable in terms of top shape, in terms of upper rib shape, but then you study the value of this gilt's design. The balance and proportionality is quite good. The gilt at 7, this view right here I want to strengthen. She's a little level-eared, she's a little closed up underneath, but then this young lady's an excellent showman, gets her head up, that gilt prances around, got a flat back, got a big belly, got a hind leg that works. Change her ear set, open her up down low just to shade. I think we can be in good shape. I love them stout, I love them wide, and I love them powerful. Problem is this gilt's entirely too mature to her head, a little short in terms of her body extensions, but man, that thing's stout, wide, and opened up. Gilt's a 9 and 10. This young man's got a real pretty blue gilt at 9, just too flat bladed, a little long muzzle for me. The gilt at 10 is a nice basic gilt, just not enough stoutness of feature, not enough uniqueness in terms of skeletal density. Good class, once again, my compliments.
Last call, Class 5. Last call, Class 5 Crossbred Gilts. Results from Class 4 Crossbred Gilts in 10th, Michaela Anderson from California. Michaela Anderson from California. In 9th, Grady Kern from Arizona. In 8th, Tyler Truelson from California. In 7th place, Grace Curry, California. In 6th, Caitlin Thompson from Arizona. In 5th place, Justin Lee from California. In 4th, Maya Giannini from California. In 3rd place, Tyler Truelson from California. Second place was Dennis Grove from California, and your winner of Class 4, Lucia Abreu from California. First call, Class 6 crosses. First call, Class 6 crosses. Now in the arena is Class 5. There's Gilt weigh 207 to 216. If you're in Class 6, make your way to the show ring, please.
The race has officially started today. It didn't take very long for me to have 10 pins full out here, and there's still value in the ring. Young lady's spotted up Gilt here. Probably too tough on her. This is an interesting Gilt to study. Love her head shape, her groove down her top, really stout. Today she's all just a bit rigid in her spine. Hind leg will get outside of herself a little more than I'm seeking today. I think if that Gilt does the right things skeletally and structurally, I think she's got a lot of value. Young lady in the gray vest, that's another nice Gilt that I like from a profile, just not enough punch when you get right in behind her. Then we've got three others out here that are good body Gilts, just a little plainer featured than what we have in the pins. And so a very competitive set of Gilts. I'm very impressed with this set as a whole. Let's congratulate the exhibitors for their efforts this morning.
Last call, Class 6 cross. Gilts, last call, Class 6.
Pretty wild to put together out here, and my compliments to the exhibitors. And if you don't end up winning this class, dang sure don't give up on your 4-H project, because I think there's a lot of value here, and depending on where you want to rest and types and kinds and freshness, it'll get interesting. Without a doubt, I think the most different gilt that I've seen in your Crossbred show, and I don't know if different is good or not, but for me, really an interesting gilt to study is the young lady in the pink here. This gilt's going to start this class because for me personally, that is one up-headed, cool-headed, sharp-eared, actually really tall-fronted, big back, big pin set. And at some point, I'm like, okay, the gilt's a little crazy. She's kind of afraid of her own shadow out here. And so what's the problem? Something this unique built has got to have a problem structurally. What I find interesting for a gilt that runs straight uphill, her angles up front are really good. Her hock is within her framework, and that's a dense skeleton. I think her body shape, I'm like, okay, she's got to be flat ribbed. And you get on top of her and you study her body shape, she's not flat in her body design. That's a pretty interesting gilt, in my opinion, to start. The young lady that I love the balance and proportionality of is this young lady's gilt, going to be second right here. Love her pin set, love her hind leg design, and I think this gilt is the ultimate of balance. I love her body shape, her proportionality is good. I just don't think she's got the extra uniqueness in terms of the stoutness of hind leg. I'd like to make her skeleton just a bit more dense than it is. If we can do that, I love that gilt's build and design. Love the feature, the stoutness, and the power of this gilt that comes in third at this light weight. My question is she a little stale to me at the crest of her neck? She gets a little dry and down her loin and just a little more mature looking. Love her bone, love her feature. I just want to freshen that gilt up down her top line and right there at the crest of her neck, very, very slightly. Same story for the young man's blue and 4. When I'm up on this gilt, this was my class winner. When she comes at me, when she goes away, I'm like, I'm all in. This is a big, fresh back, big pin set. Problem is, the farther you step away from this gilt, the thicker she gets at the top of her neck, the more difficult her neck ties into the front side of her shoulder, and the rounder she gets in her rump. And those are really, really slight deficiencies, but this class is so competitive, I changed the way that gilt is built up to her front end design. Love the sow power of the 1 and 5, and I tell you, she might be a little pug-headed, a little plainer throated for some, a little soft in her front foot. You take those things off the table, this gilt has worlds of value in her flexibility, her body design. She looks maternal in terms of her shape to her hip, her shape to her vulva, and underline is really good, just a little low fronted, a little plain featured at this level. The rear third of this gilt gets her in trouble. I like the front 2/3 in terms of extension, feature, blended with balance. She's a little short and steep in terms of her hip, doesn't have that power in her hind leg that we have in the others. The gilt that's 98%, almost there, comes in 10-7. If I could make her a little different on her right hind and how she flexes and kind of pops the right hock, if we can fix that, I think this gilt is really, really cool. I mean, sharp, dense, big muscles. Looks like she wants to generate competitive show bears someday, and that's the name of the game with cross gilts. Got a sow coming out here, big bold mug on her, big back, big thick-ended, a little coarse, a little round on both ends, but I love her feature, love her stoutness, want to smooth her up a little bit. The gilt at 9, really sharp-headed and a level hip gilt, a little low-fronted for me, a little flat-footed, a little refined, and I just don't see the density in this gilt that I do above the gilts above her, but at that initial impression, young man does a good job of driving her. The gilt at 10, a little, I don't want to say ugly-headed, but a little snipe-headed. Want to stouten her skull up a little bit from their back. Good shape, good blade, a little quick in her step, a little fine feature, but for a gilt of that quality to be in 10, that speaks volume for the depth within that class. Really, really a great set of gilts.
First call, Class 7. First call, Class 7. Results out of Class 5 in 10th place, Alyssa Hembry from California. In 9th place, Luke Martin from California. In 8th place, Hannah Seymour from California. 7th, Landon Lowerwall from Texas. In 6th place, Maya Giannini from California. 5th, Sayla Salmons from Texas. In 4th place, Dennis Grove from California. In 3rd, Ricky Lofton from California. In 2nd, Sayla Salmons from Texas. And your winner of Class 5, Avery Gray from Colorado. Now entering the ring is Class 6, Crossbred Gilts. These gilts weigh between 217 and 227. Second call, Class 7 Cross Gilts. Second call, Class 7 Cross Gilts.
You like to wash?
Last call, class 7. Last call, class 7.
Once again, lots of quality out here. The painted up gilt, I like some of these gilts out here in terms of feature and stoutness. They have it. Want to just see them go a little differently off of their hind leg, and her right hock's just a little puffy. Got a couple of belts out here that got some boldness of feature, just a little plainer in their shape. Got a belt here and a black gilt over there that are big and pretty. Just need more to them in terms of skeletal width. The blue gilt down here is sharp-headed, got some forearm shape. She's too flat in terms of her body. Gilt here needs more substance and stoutness and freshen her up just a shade. Got a nice belted gilt here that's just a little pug-headed, just a little plainer feature, but I like her body design, like her substance and bone. Let's please put our hands together for the exhibitors here, another deep class. I think a good set of velvet gilts up here at the top end of this class. And once again, those challenges and checks and balances as you go back and forth, I think really get to be difficult. The gilt that suits me the best in terms of both the profile, the coming at you, the build and design with feature, in my opinion, is a young man in a flowered shirt down here. Go ahead and start with this gilt. I like her skull, like her blade shape, like her form and body. When this gilt goes, I think her hock is within her framework, but she won't be the most stable. I want to just make sure she's even in terms of her rate of movement off of her hind leg. The challenge is the other stout featured, cool looking gilt that I like out here that's going to be second. The young man's got is too dry in her ham loin hookup and really tied up back there, and I want to fix that about her. And so this gilt in second's cool looking, comes at me good, a little harsh in her body cover right now, and I think with time and weight and on feed and a little lower protein feed as that ham loin comes together, I think that's a really nice gilt today. She looks just a little harsh to me out here. The gilt that I wanted to say, okay, here's the fresh back, big pin, really pin ready gilt is the gilt that ends up in third. Problem is I get off her and she's got the smallest feet, the frailest bone work relative to her body mass, and then her blade's a little tight and her spine's a little tight for me, and so skeletal looseness, I want to change that gilt just a little. So I think three good gilts that I'd alter maybe each of them just a slight bit, and really a challenge to put together. Stout, wide, opened up are three adjectives that really describe this gilt in form, like her stoutness and feature, like her boldness. With that extra boldness, she's a little coarse, she's a little rounder in her build for me, and then she will get her rear feet also out of her skeleton a little bit. The gilt that comes in five, comes at me too narrow at her knee, comes at me a little flat in her body design, but then you step off to the side and you appreciate her extension, you appreciate her lines and symmetry. The gilt's just a little one-dimensional. I like the utility of the gilt in six. This is a good built, good design, stout featured, really just a basic crossbred breeding gilt out here in a big ring setting. She's a little pug-headed, a little shorter face, but that gilt has a lot of value when set back into the keeper pin for her design, for basic utility. The gilt that comes next, really interesting gilt that's almost really good. Stout featured, bold, pushing the envelope in terms of that extra width. Out here, she's a little dog-legged behind. I want to stabilize her hind leg more so than what it is, but there is some extra density in that gilt you really like. We switch gears to a big pretty gilt that's a little refined out here that comes out of 8. The gilt at 9 is just a little quick in her step on both ends, a little fragile headed, want to loosen her up. And then the gilt at 10, good basic kind of gilt, just a little plain in her shape, just a little more nondescript than ideal at this stage in her development. Solid class here in your lightweight division.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Results out of Class 6. In 10th, Parker Franz from Colorado. In 9th, Blake Hembry from California. In 8th place, Zachary Michelle from California. In 7th, Sienna Brotherton from Oregon. In 6th, Reese Wolfenbarger from California. 5th place, Mary Horwath from California. In 4th place, Madison Woolery from Texas. In 3rd, Riley Quinard from Texas. In 2nd place, Braden Illingworth from California. And your winner of Class 6, Ethan McCaig from California. Now in the arena is Class 7. This will be the last class in this first division. Class 7 gilts weigh between 228 and 234. If you had the top 3 or 4 placing gilt in classes 1 through 6, please be ready to come back to the show ring as Dr. Hogue will select his top 8 to 10 from this lightweight division. Also, I know a lot of you have been wondering, we do have a list of purebred gilts that have made the sale. Although we do not have the sell order in which they will sell, we do have a list of those purebred gilts that have made to sell. We will be selling 3 Berks, 2 Chesters, 6 Durocs, 3 Yorks, 3 Hamps, 2 Herefords, 2 Landraces, 2 Polands, and 2 Spots. Again, those purebred gilts that made to sell, your name is posted on the wall. They are in no particular sell order at this time. Once we complete the Cross Gilt show, we will then put together a sell order.
Well, we have the microchip proprietary deal, but for some reason it's not right. It's one we just did you have another accident? Did you have another accident?
Second call, if you were in the top 3 or 4 of your class, classes 1 through 7, please make your way back to the show ring. At the conclusion of class 7 that's in the ring right now, Dr. Hogue will select his top 10 in this lightweight division. So we need more than just first and seconds from classes 1 through 6.
Got 3 in this class that we're going to go ahead and send back to the barn. The bluegill over there, big backed and big chested, a little cresty at the top of her neck, a little rounder in terms of her hip. Got a young lady's gilt here that needs to be sounded behind on her rear legs. And got a real choke-throated gilt over here that's nice profiling, just not opened up enough on either end of her skeleton. And so let's put our hands together for those 3 young ladies on the job. Well done today for their effort.
Again, at the conclusion of this class, Dr. Hogue will select the top 10 or so from this division. So if you placed in the top 3 or 4 in your class, 1 through 6, please make your way back to the show ring.
Michaela. Slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit.
You want me to go or you want me to? Oh, I would go 5 minutes, 40 minutes. 10 minutes to be there. Yeah, but it's the wire wheel is tested. So it's very so he was saying
Another solid class here to go ahead and study, and the black gilt down here is a kind of a logical class winner for me out here. She really pushes the envelope of putting a lot of unique things into one skeletal package. Not only is she very photogenic from a profile, but she's also very athletic in terms of her range of motion. And then as you study her views coming and going, she's very correct and proportional in terms of her width and stoutness. And so that is a high-end gilt, probably her greatest concern. I don't want to make hogs any sharper throated than what she is, but I would say for most judges, or some judges, her greatest concern is she's solid black. I don't really care. I just want quality, and that is quality. The gilt that's going to be second is a little bit of a low rider here. The young lady in second got a big blade, got a big back. She's sounder than the other two low riders in 3 and 4. You know, a little puffy in terms of her throat line, but she gets out, she handles herself good, got loads and loads of volume and muscle. The blue gilt, interesting breeding value, big fat hind leg on her, got a stout skull, got a big cage. She walks a little soft and hesitant, a little bit like a chicken on a hot plate off of her front end. Want to strengthen those pasterns, change her foot quality, and then that is really a generator, kind of a look and feature in a gilt there that comes in third. The gilt that comes in fourth looks a lot like the gilt in third. Dense, moderate, stout, powerful, a little too compact for me at this particular stage. She too needs to be stronger in terms of her front pasterns. I didn't think she was quite as uniquely built as the blue. As a result, she settles in 4. We go from the 3 low riders into some big and talls in 5, 6, and 7. These are big, pretty gilts that all need more to them in terms of physical fill and body. Here's a gilt coming out really extended and sharp, just a little refined. I like to change her vulva. It's pretty infantile out here. Stout her hind leg up a little bit. Gilt that comes next got a little more feature, but this gilt didn't want to level out of the hip. She too's a little dry in her body. We go to 8. 8's a power gilt. I wish I could change this thing's hind leg because I love her bone. I love her feature. I love her boldness. She's just a little odd in terms of the way her hock drops out of the base of her ham. Fix her underlying quality just a little bit. 9 and 10, really pretty gilts. Here at 9, attractive, needs more substance. And then 10, extra stout, heavy boned, a little low fronted, a little awkward in terms of her hind legs. So good set of gilts, a lot of pieces on one side of the puzzle or the other there.
All right, now, Class 4, first place. Class 4, first place. Please make your way to the show ring. Lucia Abreu. We need you in the show ring, please. Lucia Abreu. Dr. Hogue will now select his top 10 or so out of this division. Second place in the first class, second place in class 1, Madison Woolery. Please make your way to the show ring. Results from class 7 and 10th, Colby Avery from Wyoming. In 9th, Carter Cherry from California. In 8th, Smith Hillfiker from California. In 7th place, Madison Owl from California. In 6th, Jacqueline Booth from Idaho. In 5th place, Hannah Reese from California. In 4th place, Caitlin Wetzler from Oregon. In 3rd place, Justin Messner from Kansas. In 2nd place, Michaela Lowerwall from Texas. And in 1st place, class 7, Mary Horwath from California. Again, we need all first and seconds from classes 1 through 7. And then if you are third and fourth or even fifth in your class, be ready. We may need you in the show ring as Dr. Hogue selects his top 10 from this lightweight division. Just a reminder, your release times from the fairgrounds here is between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. Again, 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. You can only move out overnight after the show.
Interesting set of gilts to put together out here, and I sure think we went through the classes and I tried to explain what I thought was close, what I thought was good, and where I think that some of these younger gilts need to do throughout the rest of their growth curve to go ahead and be competitive long term. And so I've got a couple 3 in mind out here for vying for that champion reserve, third overall positions. And basically, do you want to go a little more unique, or do you want to go what represents, in my opinion, what I would like to do at home in terms of that extra balance and athleticism? And I think a gilt that reads and hits me like a lightweight. I like to make sure that lightweight hogs look like lightweights, middles look like middles, and then heavies look like heavies. And so I think there's a great set of gilts out here. In my opinion, if there's a model out here that I want to replicate in the largest quantity or largest proportion at home, would be the young lady in the checkered striped shirt right down here. That's your champion lightweight crossbred gilt. Let's give her a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to Lucia Abreu, exhibiting the champion lightweight cross gilt.
probably not going to come to the microphone anymore. I believe we're going to select about 10, and it sure won't take long to get 10 quality spots out here. Really just an excellent set. To me, you bring that second place in and build a sow herd like that, I think you'd be in good shape. After that, I think it comes down to the two most unique gilts that I saw today, and like I said in class, unique might not be for everybody, but I sure think they're hard to find, hard to replicate. For me personally, the gilt I will reflect on probably as much as any throughout this lightweight division after I get on the plane and fly home this evening. It's going to be reserve. She's pretty far out there. Young lady in the pink shirt that's going to be reserve lightweight.
The reserve lightweight cross is Avery Gray from Colorado. We'll now proceed to select the top 10 in this lightweight division. Again, if you were third or fourth, either be here in the arena or be very close by. First call, Class 8 Crossbreds. First call, Class 8 Crossbred Gilts. Fifth place in Class 5. Fifth place in Class 5. We need you in the show ring. Sayla Salmons. Sayla, we need you in the show ring. They're coming.
They're waiting on what? That's how deep that class was. Yeah.
I've got a class 5. They brought her in there, they got way make her way back set. She did make her way back set. I know that.
She's really sad now because she's going a little bit fat. She's like, they'd be like, no, you're not. They'd be like, you want to get
Except they use it on their canvas.
Yeah. He's right there.
Your top 10 lightweight cross gilts. 10th high was Dennis Grove from California. 9th high was Kendra Bliss from California. 8th high was Kelsey Brooks from Arizona. 7th high, Ethan McKay from California. 6th high was Dennis Grove from California. Your 5th high was Ricky Lofton from California. 4th high, lightweight cross, Sayla Salmons from Texas. 3rd high, Mary Horwath from California. Your reserve champion, light division cross. Went to Avery Gray of Colorado in your champion light division cross. Was Lucia Abreu from California.
We start the middle division in great fashion. Got a belted gilt here. I like a lot of things about shape and look. Just a little refined out here, and you study the blue gilt right behind her. Similar story. Cool look up high. Needs a little more physical fill. Needs to be just a little stouter and bolder in her body. Belted gilt here, just a nickel plain, but pretty comfortable out here. Big, pretty belted gilt, needs more to her. And then the little white gilt here, extra wide and stout, just a little wide walk and a little coarser made. Got a blue gilt here that's pretty good in terms of her shape and ditch up high. A little tight and flatten her upper rib. Like to stabilize her hind leg, just a nickel. Got 10 really good gilts in the pins. Let's congratulate with a nice round of applause the efforts of our young people today at Phoenix.
Now in the ring is Class 8 Crossbred gilts. These gilts weigh between 235 and 242. Again, we do have those purebred gilts that were selected for the sale this evening posted. We'll sell 3 Burks, 2 Chesters, 6 Durocs, 3 Yorks, 3 Hamps, and then 2 each of Herefords, Landrace, Poland, Chinas, and Spots. They are not posted in a sell order yet. That sell order will be determined after we finish the Cross Gilt show and the Supreme Champion Drive. As soon as we do select that sell order, we will have a mandatory exhibitor meeting for all those participating in the Gilt sale this evening at 6 p.m. The sale is at 6. The meeting will be immediately after the selection of the sale order, which will follow the selection of the Supreme Champion Gilt.
Lots of things going through my mind. I tell you what, I think that first division was very, very competitive, difficult to put together, and I can already tell you the middleweights are going to be good. So I'm trying to decide out here, do I want to have nice show pigs? Do I want to gather generator, what I call and what I envision as generator crossbred sows that I would envision really having an impact in a herd? And then to be honest with you, there's a three-legged dog around here. Has everybody seen a three-legged dog? That's the happiest three-legged dog I've ever seen. And so if you're having a bad day, look at that dog, because he is spirited and uplifting. And so then I'm like, I got to get that out of my mind, because I have a microphone and a necktie on and people want to know who's first, second, third. This is what I see. I like all three of them, and when you can't decide and you're at a sale, you just load all three and let them sort it out when they go in production. What I see out here is first impression, and we're just talking about these three gilts. First impression, hip, hind leg, design, and look. This is the most current 2019-2020 crossbred gilt for me. She's a little flat-footed, she's a little in at her knee. The gilt the young lady's got, 60-60. This is the safe choice. Not the stoutest one out here, probably the best show pig. Is she got that extra bit of horsepower to generate? That I don't know. She's got an extra dupla up front. That creeps me out a little bit. The young lady in the green, right out here, this is the power sow. I always love feature. Imagine this thing about her third litter coming out of the sow shed. That thing will look like a gorilla. I mean, big, bold, stout, and every part of her body. Is she showy enough out here? Her joints behind her, just a nickel. The gilded 6, a little dry bodied, a little closed up underneath, but this one's got a big bear paw for feet, got a good shape down her top. I like her. We can let 7 through 10 roll a little quicker. I'm sure I'm taking a little long. This gilt here, nice, attractive. Everything there's good. There's just not enough of her. A little quick in her step. Here's a calico that's really thick and wide, a little rounded in her shoulder and hip, but I love her ability to have muscle and whip and handle it appropriately. Black gilt needs to be wider, but cool mane on the profile. The painted up gilt, I like her look and shape from a profile. Needs more to her in terms of body design. Really a tough class, great class there to put together.
Thank you, Dr. Hogue. Results out of Class 8 Crossbred Gilts. In 10th, Jesselyn Peterson from California. In 9th, Madeline Slate from California. 8th place, Aspen Jaggers from Nebraska. 7th place, Cindy Dudley from Colorado. In 6th, Eleanor Borba from California. In 5th place, Austin Boyce from California. In 4th, Mia Torrigiani from California. In third place, Sayla Salmons from Texas. In second, Haven Steele from Arizona. And your winner of Class 8 Crossbred Gilt, Bella Herrera from California. Now in the ring is Class 9 Crossbred Gilts. These gilts weigh from 243 to 250.